Hello and welcome back for our fifth SQL tutorial. In the previous tutorial, we had this select statement. If you don't have it, go ahead and retype it. We had this statement where we were telling it that we want to select all the information in our person addresses table where the address ID or the record is this value. So today we're going to look at the and or statement. So what we want to do here first is I want to go ahead and exclude this. So if you remember correctly, we can just do this. And I want to get some information here. So let's look at the and statement. So let's go by the city, and then let's go by maybe postal code. So let's start with city first. So we'll see where the city equals, let's just go with the first one here. So our city is going to be Bothell. Not sure I pronounced that correctly. So we have that, and we don't have any differences here that we can really distinctly use. So let's maybe try to find a different city, like maybe a city that has like two different Providence IDs or postal codes. So let's just kind of skirm through here. Just kind of look at our data until we find something that maybe we could use. So we can kind of key out some differences. Actually, I have an idea. So let's take this city, which I'm not even going to try to pronounce the name. So we have this city. And then, as you can see, we have these two values right here that are not null. So we're going to use the and statement. So we're going to say and. We want to say we're address line 2. Let's say we're address line 2 equals this. That way we'll only get this record. So and says I want this city and I want this value to equal this. So we can do further filtering. Now let's say that we didn't want anything null. We wanted them all where it's not null. So we say is not null. As you can see, it turned gray. So there's a keyword. It's like a function. So it's going to say anything that's not null is what we're going to get. So we have 3 listed here. So there's one maybe I couldn't see before prior. So now we're using the and word. So let's say, what if we want the ones that are null? So we just say is null. Now you can try and say equals null, but that's not going to work. That's going to throw an error. Or just not return anything at all. We say, you can try it like that too, and that's not going to work. So you have to use, when something is null, you have to say is null or is not null. So is null, that will work. But the other way will not work because null is a keyword. It has a special way that has to be accessed. Now we could also go by this modified date. So let's see if we can find a modified date that's the same. I don't think we can. I think all these modified dates are different. Yeah. So maybe we can't filter on that to try to find more than one, but we were able to filter based on null and not null. Another thing that we can use is the or keyword. So we can say, instead of saying and, we could say or. Now this is going to give us a lot of results. So what this is going to do is it's going to give us any city that is Belleville or whatever. Actually, let's just use Seattle, because that'll work. So any city that's Seattle, or where this, the address line 2, is not null. So you can see we have all these nulls here for the address line 2, but the city is Seattle. And then we have some of them where the Seattle meets this condition where it's just Seattle is the city, but then this is not null too. So it has to meet either one of these conditions. You're saying either I want these or it has to be this. If you're saying and, you're saying it has to be this and it has to be this. So if we run it for Seattle, see how it filters it down even further. So that's how the and or works. And that's also how the is not null and the is null works. So you can kind of filter down the null values.